long-serving sheriff in Frederick County, Maryland is now facing a multi-point federal indictment in connection with what was going to be a scheme wherein he would acquire machine guns so that a person that he knows would be able to then rent it out of people, all under complete fraudulent means. You bring him up right here. This is Charles Chuck Austin Jenkins, was doing this scheme with Robert Justin Kropp. They didn't face counts of conspiracy to interfere with a government function and to violate federal law regulating machine guns, among other related charges. So here's what they're gonna do. Jenkins is accused of conspiring to illegally buy machine guns through the use of his office's letterhead so that Kropp, a political supporter and owner of the Machine Gun Nest, maybe that's what clued them in, could obtain and rent out the aforementioned firearms to private citizens. The sheriff allegedly used his office's letterhead to falsely attest in law letters to licensed dealers and manufacturers that the machine guns were, quote, dealer sales samples for law enforcement demonstration purposes. The government alleged that the weapons were instead rented out to the Machine Gun Nest customers and raked in 6 figures in profits to Kropp. If convicted, Jenkins and Kropp face a maximum sentence of 5 years in federal prison. For the conspiracy, Kropp also faces a maximum sentence of 10 years in federal prison for unlawful possession of a machine gun. It's one of those rare actual bits of gun control legislation we have at the federal level. So using your position as a sheriff to fraudulently acquire dangerous military hardware to then personally enrich someone who has given you money is that's not just skirting gun control laws. That's obvious, like that's corruption right there. You got paid, so you're helping him get paid to the tune of 6 figures. Thank God they were able to stop this. Woz, what do you think?
I mean, I'm happy nobody was hurt in the course of any of this. That like that this machine gun or machine guns didn't end up in the hands of some bad actors. But yeah, maximum jail sentence of 5 years. Yeah, I think for this level of stupidity and greed, yeah, lock him up, lock his ass up, John.
Yeah,
we don't need prison reform. Don't abolish the police. Lock him up.
I don't know. I was just former President Donald Trump was calling for the police to be defunded yesterday, so I'm starting to think. But anyway, yeah. Look, there are places in America where you can actually do this. Like if you go to Vegas or whatever, there are places that you can fire machine guns or whatever. But there are also laws, and you have to abide by them. And the idea that you'd be using your power as a sheriff for this, just for the personal enrichment of people that you know, is a complete abdication of the incredibly limited ethical obligations that you're held under. So we'll see what ends up happening with the legal process.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.